Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing some street photography with a bit of a twist on it. We'll be taking the Hasselblad 500cm and shooting some black and white film today. Specifically, we'll be shooting Kentmere 400. I really like this film stock on medium format because I think that the grain is a lot more subtle than it would be on 35mm film. Now where the twist for this video comes in is this is hopefully going to be the first in a series of videos on this channel that incorporates another interest of mine, which is motorcycles. You may have noticed in a previous video when I went up to Camp North End in the north part of Charlotte that I was on my Triumph for that one. And so this is going to be kind of a continuation and almost a formalization of that idea, where I hop on a bike and we go for an adventure, kind of photographing things along the way. Maybe we stop off at a certain place and shoot a couple frames and then continue on. These might be shorter excursions or longer day trips, maybe even a weekend trip or something like that. We'll see. But really the idea is to kind of combine motorcycle riding and photography, going out, having an adventure, and documenting the process along the way. If you like the idea for this, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Otherwise, let's go ahead and pack up and get going for the day.
All right, we will be taking the Ducati today. You may have seen in the last video the Triumph that I also have, but today feels like a Ducati day. So we're gonna go with the Ducati Panigale V2. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Alright, so we've made it to Atherton Mill. It's a really beautiful day out today, so I'm hoping that we're going to get some good shots. But first, we're going to go get some coffee. Excuse me.
Thank you very much. Can we just say that this is like a test shot or something? First shot of the day, and it was a complete miss. I mean, I missed focus on this. I really didn't get the detail that I was hoping I would get in kind of the brick wall, and I got part of the chair in front of me. Yeah, this is pretty bad. All right, so coffee is had. Every Saturday, Atherton Mill has this really great farmer's market, so I wanted to come up here and shoot some film. I thought that this would be a really good opportunity to try to get some street shots. So I'm going to be kind of wandering around the area here, both in the farmer's market and kind of in the surrounding area in South End here in Charlotte, to try to see what we can get. So as you saw, I have the Hasselblad 500 cm. I've loaded up a roll of Kentmere 400, which it's a nice sunny day, shouldn't have any problem with exposure or anything like that. And even though one of the things I love about this area is how bright and colorful it is, I think black and white will be kind of fun today. It's something a little bit different. So I really hope that you enjoy coming on this photo walk with me and shooting some film. Something I've noticed about my 500 cm is that the focus always seems to be just a little further back from where I think it is when I'm looking through the viewfinder. Maybe the trash can on the left and the railing on the right are a little distracting, but overall, I mean, I kind of like this. It's a nice street scene. There's nothing amazing about it, but it's kind of a fun snapshot in time. I'm pretty happy with this one actually. There's a little too much negative space on the upper left maybe, but the rest of it feels pretty solid. I like all the leading lines. I like your eye being drawn to the South End sign and then up to the water tower. Yeah, overall, not bad. I definitely like the shapes and the lines in this photo, but I think the people were not quite in the right spot. Maybe I fired this off a little too late, but they seem to kind of be too busy with the left side of the photo. Maybe having them positioned over to the right would have been more successful. Maybe a controversial take, but I actually like that the railroad isn't just dead center in this shot. I like that it's off to the left. Everything is kind of leading your eyes over to the skyline. Where I feel like this photo could be improved though is rather than getting that car that's going across the train tracks, it would have been great to maybe wait for a person. I think it would have added a more personal touch to the photo or made it a little bit more interesting in some way rather than just a generic car there. This frame feels really busy and almost chaotic, and I kind of love it for that. There's a lot of shapes, there's a lot of lines going all over the place, and I think that the donut sign there is just enough of a grounding element that you can kind of make sense of everything going on. I was really drawn to this scene again from all the leading lines and then also just the geometry and the architecture. I'm such a sucker for string lights like that also, I just really like the look of them. Even the negative space up at the top doesn't really bother me. There is kind of enough detail in the clouds, even though it is pretty faint, that gives it some level of interest. And I think overall a scene like this really lends itself well to a square composition. Alright, so this photo isn't bad, but I definitely fell for a classic blunder of black and white photography. I was really attracted to the bright and vibrant colors, the oranges and everything kind of working well together that you can see a little bit in the video before this. I mean, even the stroller was matching everything so well, and so that was actually what was drawing me to this scene. Black and white I still think works okay for this, but color probably would have been more successful for this shot. That said, I think kind of the vintage style ice cream sign with the film does make it feel very nostalgic, and that I kind of like about this too. Alright, so I like the mushrooms here, but there's really not a clear enough focus in the rest of the shot. I feel like the traffic stuff in the background, the car, the guy on the left side, and then all the lines there kind of are just distracting. Probably too much foreground with just grass, nothing really of interest there either. So, I mean, I don't know, I think this is kind of a miss. It might be a little hard to tell from the video, but I really just quickly fired this shot off. I didn't really plan it very well, and I think that that's evident here. The frame feels unbalanced, the pole is way too prominent in the foreground there, and I feel like the people in the shot don't really add enough of an interest to keep my attention. This isn't too bad. I think that there's a little too much empty space right in front on the bottom of the frame, but I love the tones that you get in the rest of the shot, particularly with that mural in the background. The mill shop sign is nice and sharp, and I think that there's a lot of things to kind of capture your attention, even if there's not a very clear, defined subject here. In my opinion, this is probably my most successful shot from the day, and it happened to be the last one on the roll. I think the reflections on the glass, the lines, the geometry, everything, and then having that kind of subject there at the bottom left, all works pretty well together. It's not anything monumental or, going to be featured in Life magazine, but it's kind of a cool shot. I just like there's enough visual interest to keep me kind of wondering what's going on in the frame for a second.
So that was a quick 12 exposure roll, Kenmure 400 medium format. I think that some of these shots worked. I think some of these, maybe not so much. We'll know once I can finally chop up the film, get it developed and processed, and then get it home and edit everything. So you already know if these came out or not. But yeah, how are you liking these photo walk videos? Is this kind of interesting to see? Do you want to see more of these? Are they getting boring and repetitive? Hopefully kind of throwing in some stuff with the motorcycle makes it a little bit more interesting, but we'll see. Anyway, we shot a roll of film. Time to head back. Enjoy the rest of the day.
So I really enjoyed this day. Something that I actually enjoy about medium format is the fact that there is only 12 exposures per roll. So I think you have to be a little bit more selective with what you're shooting. It forces you to slow down a little bit, which really is what I like about film shooting in general versus digital, where you can just kind of keep shooting and it doesn't really matter. The stakes are higher with film. There's actually a cost per frame that you shoot, right? So I think that generally it forces you to be a bit more thoughtful in your approach. Now, were all of these fantastic photos? No. Some of these I'm happy with and some of these I'm not so much, but that's fine. I mean, ultimately, I think it was a successful day. I enjoyed it, I had fun, and I did get some shots that I like out of it. So as I said in the intro, I'm hoping that this is going to be a recurring series on this channel, doing a day trip on a motorcycle or just getting out in the area and shooting a little bit. Sometimes it might be film, sometimes it might be digital, sometimes it might be new gear, old gear, whatever. But if you have any requests on things that you would like to see, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Also, as I said previously, I'm hoping that these kind of photo walks are still interesting interesting and enjoyable. I'd love to know what you think of them in the comments below as well. As always, if you liked today's video, please go ahead and give me a like. It really does help the channel out. And subscribe if you're new here. I'm starting to put out videos every week or two, and I would really appreciate the support. But again, hope you liked the video. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.